fucking trash can going through the fucking trash can.
That says to me she doesn't know what she's fucking doing. Why would anybody go through the fucking trash can?
I don't know.
Fucking, dementia is, it's a bitch. It is.
But it's not my situation.
I understand that. And I'm grateful for when you can help me. It's not that I'm not.
It doesn't seem not according to what Joe says.
Joe is Joe. You know Joe, when he gets mad, says all kinds of shit. You two are literally oil and butter and just...
He thinks he can talk to anybody anyway. He's got to know that he can't. It's one thing saying shit between two people and he wants to run his mouth, and I'm going to run my mouth back to him because he thinks he can run his mouth to me. And then all of a sudden he wants to get physical about it. Susie, I have lived my life. Both of my kids are grown. You think I'm afraid of dying? Do you think I'm even 1 ounce of me is afraid of dying? Do you think maybe even just a little bit welcome it? Do you think I'm afraid of dying? Do you think I'm afraid of dying? No, I've lived my life. My dad was 52. I'm not afraid to die. If that means that he's going to go to jail for the rest of his life and not live his life because he did something that he should have thought about, I'm fine with that. I'm okay to die. He's going to go to jail. He hasn't lived his life. I've lived my life. Both of my kids are okay. I'm not afraid to die. Maybe even welcome it a little bit. He's got to understand my position compared to his position. There's two different positions. I've lived my life. My life isn't great. My life is barely worth living. We got two different things. So if it means that he kills me and he goes to jail for it, I'm okay with that. I've lived my life. Once he'll be in jail and he'll finally learn the lesson. Once he gets out of jail, he won't want to go back. I guarantee it. I just had my time taken away from me, and I don't want to go back. Just time taken from me. Wasn't in jail, just time. I don't want to be back. You, having someone restrict what you can and can't do is the worst thing that you could possibly have. I've lived my life so that you know I'm not afraid of Joe. So if he says something out of color and you don't correct him right then and there, and I say something back, it's because I'm not going to allow him to disrespect me. It's my house too. I don't have to watch for him. That's what I keep trying to explain to everybody. It's not my responsibility. And there's nothing nobody can do to change that. Oh, you're going to have to deal with me. That's what he said. You should have said something right then and there, but you didn't. That's how we got escalated. This is your fault. I don't care what you think of me or whatever the thing it is. I do stuff. There's stuff, a lot of things that I do that Joe doesn't get to see, and you don't. It ain't good conversation for you and him to tell all how great I am to him, because he don't give a fuck. So I understand it's not great conversation. I also expect that if there's something that we're talking about and it's between me and you, You don't say nothing. What? How would you feel if you found out I was talking to someone and telling them all the the shitty things about you? How would you feel? You know, you're starting to get the understanding why it matters when common courtesy, if you're going to do something, I'm not telling you who you can do it or not. Never said that. Just common courtesy is to give someone preparation of what you're going to do. You know, maybe a reminder. If you told me a month ago that this was going to happen, you know, tell me the night before, and so that I remember. It's just common courtesy. So, you know, hopefully you didn't like that I was out and you didn't know where the fuck I was and how long I was gone and everything else. Or more than one occasion. So hopefully you 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 know, because I've always been in my entire life. If you think it's okay to do, then I'm okay to do it. But don't come at me when I do the same thing that I asked you to have courtesy for me. And if you don't want to have courtesy for me, then I won't have courtesy for you. I've always been that way. Always. I mean, you even said something about you were talking about the TV, and they were talking about um, virtual sex, and you said that's not cheating.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. It was on TV that you said um, because they were having, you know, it was in a game or something, and whoever it was being accused of cheating on somebody. You was like, that's not cheating.
I would not say that because I think it is.
Okay, because I would swear to God that this
No,
is what you said. I'm telling
I
you,
would never, because I
that's
never have believed that ever. Because as far as I'm concerned, any kind of communication of any kind of intimate nature
so. What about
is
throwing snowballs at another man through Messenger?
that's just stupid shit.
That to me is the same thing. It's like what was used to be poke. It used to be a thing where you could poke somebody. It's the same thing as a poke to me, throwing a snowball to somebody through Messenger.
It had to be somebody that I was in a game with that we all helped each other.
Yeah, but it's just like to me, it's poke. It now it's not outside of whatever. It's a message, personal message between two people, and it's been more than one guy. I've never ever brought this up at ever thing, but it's the same to me. It's the same thing as a poke. Hello, just so we. I might not bring everything up that I know, but I know a lot more than I bring up. Life, life is life, and you gotta go on. So, I mean, these videos actually, Joe confronts you and says to you, how come you told the police you were okay, that you didn't want to leave and everything else, or something to that nature, or when the police asked us if there's a problem between me and you, and I was like, there's no problem, I can deal with her. This Susie, for most of the time, when Joe isn't in your head, and we can have a rational conversation, I can point it out to you that this is wrong, and then you can see where I'm coming from. You might have not have saw when you were doing it, but as soon as it's confronted to you, or Sometimes you just need to learn by example. It's usually the biggest learning curves that you can possibly have. And then you understand why someone wants you to do that, or someone doesn't want you to do that, or whatever the case may be. It's usually the easiest learning curve to overcome, and it's always worked all my life. Do unto others as others do unto you. You know, that's easy because then they learn how it feels because they start to feel that way and they get it. Oh, this is what he's talking about. So I really need to know what your intent is. I I've never thrown you through the windshield.
You banged me into the
I have
windshield.
not banged you into the windshield.
You did.
My
You lived on
windshield was
Sheffield.
Susie, I brake checked the brake. You don't wear your seatbelt. You didn't bust the windshield, so it wasn't that hard.
Enough that it hurt like hell.
I brake checked because you criticized my driving. If you don't want to drive with me, then get the fuck out. I mean, simple as that. Wear your seatbelt. I brake checked the car. You did not go through the windshield. You didn't break the windshield. The windshield didn't crack. So it wasn't as bad as you said it was. It wasn't what you said it was.
I said I slammed into it. I didn't just through it.
That's what Joe said. He's telling the top said. This is how your son is. So why tell him anything because it's just going to come back on you. If you didn't want to be with me, you had a decision right then and there not to be with me the rest of your life. That was fine. If that's how you felt about it, I never hit you. I never touched you. Susie, you told me very early in the relationship if any of those things happened, you would be gone. So obviously it hasn't happened. You would be gone. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a mean person.
No, you can be.
I can be whatever somebody wants me to be. If somebody does wrong to me, I'm gonna give them this do unto others as others do unto you. So I'm gonna give you back whatever you give me. I sure that's expected everywhere. Every relationship, any relationship I met, I just explained to you. If you think this is okay, then expect it back. So whatever happened, I'm sure it was retaliation of something that you did that didn't want to admit to, and that you got it back. I am definitely that person. A lot of times, it's with tenfolds if you do something to me. So you might have left without telling me for 15 minutes, but I'm going to make sure that it's 4 hours because I want you to feel what I feel. If you think it's okay, then it's okay for me. I'm not asking you to ask for permission, but if I don't want nothing to do with your mom, so there's no expectations of me doing anything with your mom. So that is clear. Please explain it to Joe so Joe understands. So maybe he won't run his fucking mouth. And I don't know why Joe thinks he can run his mouth to me. He's not my dad. He's not nothing. He's not even my son. He's my stepson. He's got me so upset. I don't even want nothing to do with Paisley because it might be brought up that I said something that he didn't want. And I've done everything in the world for this girl.
That's not fair to her.
It might not be, but it's not fair for him to be that way to me and you not step up and correct it either. So two negatives. So do unto others as others do unto you. I'm not going to have nothing. I bought her all her presents. I'm not having no parts because I don't want to be told, oh, I don't want, like that Barbie doll because it's representative of a lesbian. I don't want any parts. He has got me so upset now. He's went way beyond ever repair of the relationship. It'll never be repaired. I'm to the point that I don't want nothing to do with Paisley because I don't want it being brought to me saying that I said so. I told you why I said what I said to Paisley and explained my actions so that you understood why I said what I said and why. And it was nothing bad. It was just that I clearly pointed out there's a problem. No one corrected her. And so when she was like, you're not going to give me that attitude, I clearly pointed it out before you. Deal with it. And he didn't like the tone that I said it in. Well, somebody needed to step up and say something beforehand. Because I was clearly helping her see that there was a problem before she had a chance to overreact to it, prevent it. And nobody did nothing, right?
I honestly didn't hear what you said, so I.
Why didn't you hear what I mean at that time?
Right.
But you heard when I told you what was said and how it was said and why it was said.
Right after the fact, yeah.
Yeah. So at
And I
some
did say something to him.
okay,
I
and
said something to him about all of it.
he still brought that up to the cops. What did you what he keeps saying that um you took care of my mom. No one took care of my mom. We visit my mom. We didn't take care of her.
No,
So
he
why does he
specifically
keep
said that.
saying that?
I don't know
Then
where
you
he.
need to explain it to him so he understands the difference. That's not true. We visit my mom. We put her we when she died, we cremated her. That was when you had money. But from 2016, when we ran out of money, to to your dad dying, there was no money. I paid for everything. If I had to get 5 jobs, that's what I did to make sure the bills were paid. Now that your dad has died and everyone signed the paperwork that you were going to be responsible for your mother, we didn't. We luckily, God, thank you, right on time because it was right after COVID and the money's gone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Realistically, God couldn't pick a better time in the world. It was, and we had to deal with your mom. That was part of it. Okay, but no reason for Joe to be saying anything, and you not saying, "Hold up, we didn't, we didn't take care of Dan's mom. We visited his mom until her dying day. That's all we did."
Down.
Right. But
Cleaned out
my
the
point
apartment.
is that you would just clarify things for him.
I have.
Okay, in front of the police, when he's saying bullshit to the fucking police, I need you to speak up and clarify for him so that he understands. No, no, don't lie. Don't say things that aren't true. This is what I expect from my wife. If you don't want to be that person, then you have to let me know. If I tell you something, I don't go around telling other people that you have all these problems because people would see that as you know an opportunity to maybe an opportunity to move in on someone else's problem. That's how I see it. You're a reflection of me. So if I'm diminishing your reflection, what am I doing? I've always said that to you. Always. Haven't I always said that to you? Haven't I always been true to you? So if we're cutting up and we're busting on each other, that's one thing. And it's the comfort of our own home and it's me and you. You know, if you're digging at me and I'll dig back at you, whatever the case may be, however it came up, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? If we're having a little squirrel or whatever the case may be, if we don't like what we heard, then we have a choice to leave or continue to stay in a relationship. We always have that right. If something you heard or something you didn't like it and you think that's a deal breaker, then that's a deal breaker. I don't want you smoking, but here I am. I'm still with you for a long, 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 long time. And that was a gotcha for Robin. It was the deal breaker for Robin. Robin would sneak in her fucking truck this month. It really was a gotcha. She didn't smoke in the house. She didn't smoke in the house when I was there. She didn't smoke around. But you gotta pick your battles. So other things that Robin did that you didn't do, I have to look at it and say, well, is this worse or is this worse? You know what I mean? So do I have more positives than negatives? If I do, then I stay. If I'm getting old and I don't want to find someone else because I'm too damn old. It's too much fucking trouble. It's too much work. I know you. I know if I have the opportunity with you having a clear head that we can work things out. We always have. We always did. You've been here for all this time, like the cop told Joe. So everything that he thinks he knows, he doesn't know. You always been that sometimes you just tell him whatever the fuck he wants to hear just so you can shut him the fuck up because not he just keeps on going on and on and on and on and then it's so much easier just to say whatever the fuck he wants to say than it is to have to beat it into him of it. But the times you got to clarify when he's trying to belittle me in front of cops to make it seem like he's trying to protect his mom from abuse, you need to say, hold up, this is not true. He's never laid a hand on me. He's done some stupid stuff for reasons that he feels that he could justify. And I had a choice at that point. If I didn't like what was going on, I could have moved. I certainly could move on. But stop criticizing my driving. Stop doing the things you're doing. If you don't like how I drive, you can take your vehicle and you can drive, but you don't like to drive. So then stop criticizing my driving. It's my car, and I want to drive the way I want to drive in my car. It's not going to help our relationship if you're telling me how to drive. Trust me, I feel the same way about you. I feel like you can't drive. At least I'm able to control the vehicle and know its limitations.
Hold on. If we're talking about the one when we was down on Sheffield, I didn't criticize the way you drive. I got scared and reacted. That's all I did.
But I have a commercial driver's license. You see, they don't give that to everybody.
You
You know,
didn't then?
I drove trucks and everything in my entire life. There no difference in my driving ability between my commercial and non-commercial driver's
Okay,
license.
but all I did was get scared. It was just a reaction.
Susie, and
And the
I
other
expect.
time we were in my truck, and it was because you were mad and tired, which I understood. I was tired, but I was sick as a fucking dog. And you were driving like a fucking loon, and my head went into the side window when you were doing it.
I don't remember that, but none of this could ever happen if you wore your seatbelt. Do we agree on that?
That's why, yeah.
You do not wear your seatbelt, and one day that probably will kill you because you didn't wear your seatbelt. Look at your truck the last time, and that if you were wearing your seatbelt or not, you know that might have been the reason why the airbags didn't deploy. But at least if I don't remember if you had your seatbelt on when you totaled your truck out or not. But if you didn't, you would be dead anyway.
Go upstairs. Up. Go.
There's many things that I have to deal with that I don't want to deal with, and things that when we originally established a relationship, as long as you do this, I'll do this, and this is what I expect from you, and this is what you expect from me, and even those things don't happen. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. It's what life has turned and given us. If I don't like it, then I have the choice to leave, find a new relationship, start it up, and all of this stuff and everything else. I haven't done that. I've been by your side. I've been here. It might not be the ideal thing that you might want in your relationship, but if you're looking on my side, it ain't ideal either. So, you got to expect what you get. What am I getting out of the relationship? So when you look out, instead of just looking individual like this of your own situation, and look at the balance in the relationship, is the relationship balanced? Then you can judge whatever it is. So my my side of the relationship that I'm getting isn't ideal for me, but